Today's tech review will be based not so much on a product, but a service in Brisbane City. Here in Brisbane, there's these scooters you can just jump on and pretty much download the app, put your credit card in. They're actually pretty fun. And I'm going to tell you exactly how they work. So basically you start by downloading the app on your phone, and once you've got that downloaded, you have to enter some payment details in order for the company to charge you. I just put in my Google Pay details, but you can also put in a credit card or PayPal account. So once you've got that set up, you just use the QR scanner inside the app, and then you basically hold the scanner and scan that QR code, and away you go. And looking on the app here, it's got pricing for, if you're not buying a day pass, it's $1 to unlock the scooter and then 38 cents per minute. Or you can get a 3-day pass if you're here for a couple of days in the city, and that'll cost you $25. So with that $25, you get 90 minutes of ride time per day, and if you go over that ride time, then you get charged that extra 30 cents per minute. They struggle a bit going up hills though. And they have two speeds as well. You have a low speed setting, which only goes up to like 15 kilometers an hour, and then the high speed setting, which takes you up to about 30 k's an hour, but you really have to be going down a hill to get to that speed. A lot of the speed limits around Brisbane City though, even on the bikeways, is 20 k's maximum, and they have designated bikeways and walkways, which makes it a bit safer. There's two main scooter companies in Brisbane City. There's Lime and there's Neuron. This one's a Neuron scooter, and the main differences are that the Lime handlebars seem to be a lot taller, and people find that that's a bit more stable for them. And from what I've heard, the Neuron scooters are a little bit faster. Personally, I prefer the quicker scooter, so that's why I went for this one. There's an app-controlled helmet lock to secure a safety helmet to the scooters between trips as well. So when you jump on, it asks you if you'd like to unlock the helmet, and you click yes, it unlocks, you put it on, and then once you're done, you put it back in the lock. If you don't put it back for whatever reason, they charge you a fine for not putting it back, and this discourages people from stealing them. A great safety feature on these is that they have geolocation, which controls the scooter when it's going through slow zones, no-go zones, and no parking zones as well. So if you try and park one of these in a no parking zone, which is usually like a really crowded area near shops and things like that, you won't actually be able to stop your trip unless you park the scooter in one of the permitted parking zones, which is pretty well everywhere except for these select no parking zones in the city and along South Bank as well. As far as the mileage and range goes on these scooters, they have a maximum range of 60 kilometers, which is a really long way, especially if you're going around the bikeways and the shortcuts to get in and out of Brisbane City and South Bank. It's more than enough range to get you wherever you need to go, and you can pretty well hang on to one of these for a full day and not have any issues with the batteries going flat. They're also interchangeable batteries, so they have these service teams that are going around Brisbane swapping the batteries out when they get low and making sure they're serviceable and safe too. So there's two main schools of thought when it comes to these scooters. One is that they're great means of transport throughout the city. They're cheap, they're quick, they're generally safe, especially these ones. They seem to slow down in very condensely populated areas throughout Brisbane, so people aren't just hooning through flat out running into people. The second is that they're just an eyesore. You don't like them at all. They're parked in weird places. They can be a safety hazard if they're like parked across a walkway or a bikeway. So you either love them or you're not a fan at all. For me, I think they're great. They're a great alternative to having a car or a bus. You don't have to pay for parking, you don't have to be on a bus with a bunch of other people. And during COVID times, that's definitely a positive. And if for whatever reason you have an accident or you see someone have an accident, there's actually an emergency button feature on these scooters that will call emergency services if you're in trouble. So that's pretty much it. As far as coming to the city and needing a mode of transport while you're here, I definitely recommend these Neuron electric scooters. They're the way to go. They're cheap and quick. So if you like to scoot around the city or you're not a big fan of the city cycles, this is definitely a great alternative. If you enjoyed this video, make sure and leave it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tech videos in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.